Well, today is a very special day. I'm so glad you're here. For those of you who are brand new, for those of you who are checking out the Christian faith, you have an opportunity to see how God's people move forward in faith to do the things that are close to the heart of God. Today, we are making our commitments to the Imagine campaign. And on everyone's seat, there was a commitment card. Can everybody grab that and hold it in your hand right now? If you can grab that card. Now, for those of you who are online, you're a part of our family, you're joining us today online, you can go to the church app at CCV Philadelphia. And on the app, there was a button there that says Imagine Commitment. So what we're doing here today, you can join us and be a part of that. Today, when we make our commitments for the Imagine campaign, our goal is to raise money for three things. First, we want to raise money for $1 million match that our lender has offered us. That if we can raise $1 million, they will match that and take $2 million off of the loan. We are also raising money to go in addition to pay down our debt, to right-size that. We are also putting money in reserves. So if you look at that first part, that's the first priority, for $1 million match, to put money in reserves and additional money to pay down the loan. This is going to free us $16,000 a month that we're going to be able to apply this directly to ministry and helping people right here in our church family. The second priority, if you look in the middle, is we are going to build a counseling center here at CCV. The pain of people here in our church has to be met by having the opportunity to sit down with trusted, professional Christian counselors to help guide people regardless of the struggle that we go through. So if your child, your daughter, or your son, or in your relationship, or you as a man or a woman have an issue, we want to be able to have a place where people can go to talk with a very professional and Christian counselor to work through that thing. And then third, we believe one of the big priorities here as a church is that we need to create more indoor and outdoor gathering spaces. When you leave today, after second service, where are you going to go and sit down and talk to people? Because these chairs are going to be torn down. Why? Because this is a 24/7 facility, right? And we were going to have student ministries immediately after this. And so what we're going to do is we're going to provide spaces both indoor and outdoor for us to be able to gather and connect. We want CCV to be home. We want people to feel like they don't want to leave. In order for that to happen, we have to have the spaces where people can gather. And so what we're going to do in a second is we are going to take these commitment cards and we are going to fill them out. And together, we're going to see God aggregate our collective commitments towards meeting this particular goal. Now, in the movie theater days, I would say we are all going to look back on this and say, these are the good old days. And that's because we didn't have anything else to look forward to. It literally was, we had mice on the seats and mice poop on the floors. Just not a lot of people. It was just not great. And it was, as a way to keep people motivated, I would say we're going to look back on these and say this was the good old days. But I've come to believe that. Soon, none of us are going to be here. The Bible in the book of James says, like a mist, we're all going to be gone. And we have one shot to serve Jesus. And so a significant part of our time here on earth serving the Lord will be here in this church. And there aren't many opportunities. We don't get many other opportunities. And what we're going to do is we're going to look back, I truly believe, on this season where we are right now with a particular fondness in thankfulness that we got to be a part of something really, really special. For instance, last Sunday night, we gathered a small group of our leaders here at CCV, and we said, we believe as a church, we cannot ask the congregation to do anything that we ourselves are not willing to do. I mentioned that Lisa and I are committing $50,000 above and beyond our regular giving to go to the campaign. The leaders that were together in that room on Sunday night felt the presence of God, just like I feel the presence of God here this morning. And on Sunday night, 56 households came together and committed $868,110 to the Imagine campaign, which is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And so we've asked people to take widow's mites. And these are the 56 widow mites from Sunday night. And we are going to add ours today to that number. The story of the widow mite comes from Luke chapter 21, where Jesus is looking and he sees rich people putting in their gifts in the temple. He also saw a poor widow put in 2 small copper coins. Truly I tell you, he said, the poor widow has put in more than all of the others. And the disciples are like, well, how? That's not possible, because this guy just brought in a big pile of money. And she put these 2 little tiny coins in. How could she give more than him? Truly, I tell you, this poor widow has put in more than all the others. All these people gave their gifts out of their wealth, but she out of her poverty. In other words, these other people could have given even more, and it wouldn't have even been a sacrifice. But to her, it was. And what we learn from this passage is that giving is not about equal gifts, but equal sacrifice. And that's what the Imagine campaign is all about. On Sunday night, I shared that I often ask people, what name would you give the season God has you in right now? Like if I'm talking to a staff member, think about your life right now and the season that you are in right now. If you were to give it a name, what name would you give it? Lean over and share that with the person right now. What season are you in? I've been in a lot of seasons over the years. And I think that the season that God has me in right now is trusting. Like, I'm not a trusting kind of person. And I've really gotten to the point where I think God has me. He's like, listen, you're going to have to trust me on this and on different things that I'm praying about. And maybe you're there. Maybe you're in a trusting season. Maybe you're in a season of pain. Maybe you're in a season of pruning where things are being taken out of there. All of us go through different seasons. And I often think that our church goes through different seasons. And I think the season that we're in right now is, I believe we're in a season of miracles where we get to see God be faithful to his word like we've never seen before, like on Sunday night and in different ways. Every miracle in the Bible is preceded by 2 things. It's preceded always by a problem. That's why it's a miracle, right? Because it's overcoming a problem. And it's also includes the right people who are willing to step out in faith. And what I want to do right now is I want to ask 3 of our staff members. I'm going to ask Melissa to come first, then Pete, then Lisa. They have people that are from the CCV family here that are the right people at the right time to be a part of these miracles. And it shows and it illustrates what we're doing in this campaign and what we're fighting for, what we're going against. And I want to invite Melissa to come on up right now.
Oh, our microphone's down. Guys will have to share a microphone. Well, hey, hello.
Hello. Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Melissa. I'm our children's pastor here at CCV, and I brought two of our incredible volunteers here. We're going to pass the mics a little bit because there's two we'll share. I wanted to introduce first Michelle as well as Alex. So, Michelle, could you share? Some of you might realize that there is a resemblance between the two of us. This is my mom as well. But Mom, Michelle, can you share where do you serve and how long have you been serving there?
Oh, okay. So I've been serving for 19 years. I started in K1 and I moved on and just kept going with the kids. And then I ended up in 4th and 5th grade. And that's where I made home. So that's where I serve.
So 19 years that she's been serving at CCV in our Valley Kids area. Incredible, incredible. And Alex, how about yourself?
I've been serving for 16 years, pretty much ever since I graduated from Valley Kids myself. I've been in K3, kindergarten, third. I've been in the 4th and 5th grade. I've been in the preschool. I've been everywhere.
That's incredible. Ooh, whoa, my voice sounds different on this one. That's incredible, Alex. Just to, again, reiterate, you started as a Valley Kid. Is that right?
That's right. I was a kid.
And what age were you when you started in Valley Kids?
I was 8 years old.
That is amazing. So you were around during the movie Church days.
I was.
In fact, when Brian was telling a little bit about the mice, you had leaned over and you said, I could tell you a story about those mice. So do tell.
Oh, yes. Well, I remember the mouse poop. I remember cleaning up the mouse poop, sweeping it from behind the theater screens. My mom was a volunteer. They didn't make us do that. My mom did. I remember
That's good.
Yeah. I remember the sticky floors. One time there was a kid who got his foot so stuck on the floor he had to leave his shoe there. The movie theater staff had to scrape it up. Truly, we've come so far as a congregation.
We really have. I think we can say 9 out of 10 times your kids will go home with their shoes on in Valley Kids right there.
That's fair.
And then, Mom, you had told me that when Alex started serving, he came into your area volunteering. Is that right?
He sure did. He served alongside me in K1 for quite a few years. Yeah, we've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. And really the reason that I bring both my mom here as well as Alex on stage, all different life stages that we are, is because these two not only serve in the 4-5, our 4th and 5th grade ministry, but they also are our leaders for the 4-5 small groups. So Michelle leads small groups for 4-5 girls, Alex leads small groups for 4-5 guys. And it is incredible to watch the sacrifice that these two make every week, not only during services, but to stay after for an hour with these kids, pouring into their families, serving together, having celebrations, watching kids get baptized. Alex, you're a school teacher. You grew up here, as you said. You work locally in the area, so you are already with kids Monday through Friday. Why on Sunday as well?
Well, people have told me that I'm crazy to do that, but I teach 3rd grade during the week, so I teach reading, math, science, and social studies, and those are all wonderful. Those are all very important, but the most important thing that we can teach is about Jesus and what we're called to do. Yes,
that
absolutely.
Deserves a round of applause,
absolutely.
Please.
Yeah. What we're called to do, all of us, is bring others to Jesus. So if I weren't doing that here, I would be missing out.
We really appreciate that, Alex. And Mom, for you, I would ask, most people might say I have paid my time with kids. I'm done with that. Why do you, as somebody who's an empty nester, why do you choose to come back and to serve with kids?
That's a great question. So I love children, no matter what age. And I think on Sundays, it's the most fulfilling day of the week for me. I leave here with a grateful heart and so much joy to see these girls just become best friends and learn about Jesus. So this is home for me. This is where I want to be all the time.
And how is it serving with your daughter in ministry?
I don't know. She's awful. It's been a privilege and just an amazing journey. She's been so encouraging.
As a mom would, she's like, wait, let me actually say how, you don't have to say all those nice things. But I appreciate that.
But to sincerely mean them, it's been a joy.
Well, I think what's really awesome is it's a privilege to serve with my mom, with friends that go far back. I can look in this audience and see all the weavings of the stories from the movie theater days all till now and what we can imagine. And that's the beautiful part of doing life together. So for the Michelles and for the Alexes and for all of you who have served in Valley Kids at different events all throughout, let's please give one big round of applause. Thank you so much for all of you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. It's stories like yours that keep us going. We're going to invite Pete to come up here and share about student ministry as well.
What's going on? Oh, yes, love that. How are you doing? Happy Sunday. Good to see you. You all look great. My name is Pete. I'm the youth pastor of CCV Youth. Now, CCV Youth is basically the umbrella of our 678 middle school ministry and our high school ministry. And I have my friend Rachel here because she's one of the blessed perspectives who has served in both our 678 and 8 HSM high school ministry. So, Rachel, first off, introduce your name, let them know who you are, and how long you've been serving at CCV Youth.
Yeah, I'm Rachel Lowe. My husband and I have been serving first at 678, and now I do HSM. He stayed at 678, but we started over 2 years ago. Yeah.
Does it feel longer than 2 years?
No, not at all.
It's flown by.
Yeah, it's flying by.
Kids make it just
Yeah.
so fast. So this first question is intentional in its vagueness, but why? Why serve at CCV Youth? Why do you do that?
Yeah. So we all have, I think, a ministry that God has called us to, something that we're, with our particular skills, our life story, are so uniquely able to serve in. And I was one of the kids that I say stumbled into church. I didn't grow up in a Christian home. I was one of the kids that their friends invited to youth group, and it stuck. I quite literally met my husband when we were in 6th grade at youth group. And now we have 2 kids and another one on the way. So to say that, we joke that they're, middle schoolers are pre-people or, they're like, they'll figure it out one day. But in truth, they can start building their life and relationship with Jesus that will shape their entire lives. So.
Yeah. And so she now serves on Sunday nights. Josiah serves Wednesday nights. A year ago, they both served on Wednesday nights, and what did you guys call that?
Yeah, we called it date night. So we would get we made the decision, we got a sitter and started serving together on Wednesday nights. In truth, it made it easier in a way to do it with each other, something we could bond over. Now I moved up with my girls, and it's been great.
CCV Youth is here to help you in your marriage. So, but basically, no, I would get texts from Rachel and Josiah after 678, after I'm done with ministry, after I'm done with that mentality. I would get texts, ideas about this, thoughts about this series. I'm like, I'm done, but they're not. They're so about it. Within their time of CCV Youth, do you have any core memories that have stuck out with you?
So many. It's hard to pick, but definitely the baptisms. There's been 5 9th grade girls who have gotten baptized in the last year, 4 that I've been personally a part of. So that's definitely a huge milestone for them. It's not the end of the journey by any means. I'm continuing to help them on their walk with Jesus in whatever way that I can. But something that sticks out so vividly for me, this is whenever they were in 8th grade. One of our discussion questions, and discussion questions is what happens after Pete or Olivia give their sermon, and we have small group time, a chance to dive into what they say, and a chance to help the girls process, what was just said to them. One of the questions was, what are your strengths? And none of the girls wanted to say any of their own strengths. They couldn't, they couldn't verbalize their own, but in such a beautiful way, they all started sharing each other's strengths. And we popcorned around the room until everybody had something just so beautifully spoken about them and their character and their person and what their peers see about them. And it was definitely a very sweet memory that I'll hold dear.
That's sweet. And for anyone who doesn't know, the baseline standard of middle school communication is humor and making fun. That is just how you communicate. So for middle school girls to find safety within CCV Youth, not just to express their own strengths, but to be spoken about in strong words and pushed towards the direction of Jesus, all because of incredible leaders like Rachel and us just sort of facilitating that direction of the next generation. That's what it's all about. And as we're talking about pushing forward, what do you look forward to for the next 4 years with you and your girls?
So short term, I have really started to enjoy taking some of the girls out into the community with me. There's a few of them that have gotten a chance to serve in a teen mom ministry. So they're starting to just not only hear about Jesus, but also what it means to be the hands and feet in their own community. But long term, I still look forward to graduation day, not because I want to get rid of them, not at all, but God willing that they're all firm in their faith, heading in their own life directions, and knowing that they can lean on me as a relationship that we built, for 5 years, and someone that will point them back to Jesus. So.
The amount of students that I've seen come in from 6th grade, and I've just not wanted to see them for a whole week or two, yet look forward to seeing them all the way genuinely to being on the stage at their HSM senior celebration. It's one of the most favorite parts of my job, but to know that they're in the hands of someone like Rachel and all our other incredible leaders, that's why I love the Imagine campaign. I'm not just imagining an abstract future that could be awesome. We're in the middle of a miracle where God is moving, and we are seeing the future happen every single week. So I want to thank everyone who's given towards it, everyone who's prayerfully considering it. And I would just like to take a moment to give a round of applause for Rachel and every CCV youth server week after week. All right? We now invite Lisa and her guest up.
I have the privilege here on staff of being the pastor of adult ministries, which means a lot of different things. It's a very big umbrella. And one of the things that happens sometimes is I might be the first person to get a phone call. And last February, I got a phone call from Amanda. And this was not one of the phone calls that I wanted to get. So Amanda, can you just introduce yourself and tell us about that day?
My name is Amanda Steenberg. I am the wife of Matt Steenberg. Matt was a counselor here at CCV. He was a licensed professional counselor. And on February 18th, he suffered an ischemic stroke. And after multiple procedures and 5 weeks in the hospital, on March 25th of this year, he passed away.
So as we've been going through the Imagine campaign, we initially started with the widow's mite, because we just, in the Bible, that story of the widow's mite and her faith and her trust. And then it was during a staff meeting where we were talking about Amanda. And it was Melissa who said, Amanda is one of our widows. And we were all just like, oh my gosh, you're right. Because Amanda is one of a few widows that our church, this past year, we've had some tragedy and we've had some loss. And we've really felt it, especially with Matt, because Matt saw, as a counselor, many families here at CCV, and he would meet with them over in the office area. And so his loss has really been felt. So as we've been going through the Imagine campaign, I really do believe that it was that God just gave us this vision that we are to be a healing church. But we also felt the loss, like at the corporal level of the loss of Matt, because so I have just personally received so much encouragement myself from Amanda, because through her tragedy, she has just, her faithfulness and what she has learned and shared with others has been indescribable. So Amanda, you have said a number of times that how important the church was for you and continues to be at this time. Can you just share with everyone a little bit about that?
Yes. I can't really take credit for the strength that so many people say they see in me. It's not me, it's God. I have said throughout this whole time, when people come up to me, how do you do it? And I'm like, well, God is my glue. He holds me together. And during Matt's stay at Reading Hospital, I felt so much prayer. I have never in my life experienced the feeling of knowing that people were praying for you like that. And I felt it. I still do. It gives me the strength to get up and do what I need to do each day. From Lisa and Brian visiting, praying with me, from Ralph coming and praying with me, and then many other people that would message me and just say, I'm just checking in, I'm here, I'm praying, not expecting a message back. It was everything I needed. After Matt died, there was one place I wanted to be more than anything, and it was here. And people were like, how can you be here so soon? You don't need to be here. I needed to be here. I needed to be here to listen to Eric and the worship and those songs that mean so much to me. Matt loved music. And to be here with fellow Christians that can just, I'm not a hugger. I am now. To accept the help. Melissa started a food train to try and alleviate some of those things. Without the church, I'm not sure where I'd be. I don't know that I'd be here, but I am because of the family that I have here. I've been coming to this church for a long, long time, and some of you may have seen me in K3, and a long time ago I did hospitality, but this is my home, and that's why I needed to be here.
I asked Amanda to share with us this morning because she has been at CCV a long time. And when we initially reached out to her to talk about the Imagine campaign, it was hard for us to even say, Amanda, would you be willing? But she was like immediately yes, because of what you just heard her say. But she has served in a variety of areas in the life of our church and in her life here. And probably the thing that you're noticing this morning that I have always seen in Amanda, when we go through tragedy, people can either blame God and become bitter, or they can thank God for the miracles that they're seeing despite the pain that Jesus told us we would have here on earth. And Amanda's that. And because of that, she is now dreaming of ways, imagining ways that God can use her and her tragedy to help so many people here. Can you just share a little bit about that?
Several months ago, I had a whisper from God telling me that I couldn't just sit and keep quiet. That there's a reason, a bigger reason, that I needed to speak about it and share it. And God just works in ways that we never even see. Because to think that he had been planning something so far in advance without any of us knowing. But then I got a phone call from Melissa talking about Imagine, and my heart was just like, ooh. And I started to cry when she started talking about a counseling center. But they weren't tears of sadness. They were tears of joy, thinking that, is this what you had in mind, God? Is this your plan? And how happy my husband would be to know that our church wants to be a place of healing and a place where people can be and get the help that they need, because all he ever wanted to do was help people. And I don't think he ever even realized, most of us don't until after we're gone, how much of an effect he had on people. And I was honored that Melissa called me, and I didn't hesitate to say yes, as hard as it is to share, to stand up here. I'm excited for the future of like CCV and what we can do for the community.
And one of the things that Amanda and I have talked about too is you're looking at in the future of leading a group for people who have suffered grief because they've lost someone that they love. And on this side of heaven, that's probably the greatest grief any of us will experience. So thank you for embodying the trust and the giving. And that's what the Imagine campaign is about, us coming together with our equal sacrifices to be on mission together, to be the hands and feet of Jesus. For Amanda and everyone who serves in the adult ministry area as a volunteer in any way, we thank you.
Earlier, Brian referred to this season as a season of trust. And how beautiful is it, friends, that as we trust God, that we get to watch miracles happen right before our own eyes as we serve Him and each other together. And we're going to do that through our commitments together right now. We're going to trust God with the sacrifices that we all are making today. And that's exactly what I'm asking all of you to do right now. If you haven't filled out one of those cards yet, I want you to fill it out right now, because this is the moment where we trust God with our commitments. Every one of us in this room. And if you are watching online, we want you to participate too. As Brian said earlier, you can use our church app to fill out your commitment card, or you can go to ccvlive.com, and right there on the homepage, there is a place for you to fill out your commitment card as the rest of us in this room are going to do it together. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to take the card that you have filled out, place it in the envelope that was provided for you on your seat, and there are 3 stations across the front of the room. And you are going to place your commitment card in the metal box at each one of these stations. And leaders in the room, I want to ask you, even though you have made your commitment already, there were 56 households that Brian mentioned earlier, I want you to fill out a duplicate card, because leaders, we're going to do this as a family, all of us together right now. And just write on there that this is a duplicate card if you've already submitted that, so that all of us can participate together right now in this moment. And then after you place your card in the metal box, a few weeks ago, we gave everyone in the room one of those widow's mites, one of those coins, a replica of what she dropped in her offering thousands of years ago. And if you forgot your coin, it's okay. There's another one provided for you right up front on these tables. So after you place your card in the metal box, grab one of the coins and drop it in the jar for you to mark this moment for yourself. Again, that this is not an equal commitment, but this is an equal sacrifice for us all. And friends, we're going to make these commitments right now, together.
Thanks for watching today's message. Make sure to check out Brian's new book, Finding Favor, God's Blessings Beyond Health, Wealth, and Happiness. To sign up for Brian's newsletter, please go to Brian's website at brianjones.com.